Subscribe to Factly and hit the bell icon for updates.
भैया मेरा वोटर आईडी कराओ।
लैंड रजिस्ट्रेशन करवा दो।
मेरा स्कॉलरशिप।
फाइल माई ITR। दूसरा फॉर्म लेके आ।
रूल पता है क्या?
रजिस्ट्रेशन कहाँ है?
बाद में आओ, टाइम लगेगा।
लंच के बाद।
Is there a simple way to understand government rules?
Hello everyone, welcome back to Decode. Today's episode is about electoral candidates' affidavits, also known as a document which reveals कि पिछले 5 साल में कौन बने हैं करोड़पति, while we, the people, are struggling to pay our EMIs. Affidavits in Form 26 are the declarations by candidates about their income and its sources, criminal cases, assets, liabilities, and educational qualifications. This serves as a means for the voters to know about the contesting candidates. Lucky for us, this is a mandatory document to be filled in by every contesting candidate, so there is no escaping this. Now, filing of Form 26 has been mandated since 2003. Before that, there was nothing you knew about the candidates. Perhaps all you could have done was to flip a coin and guess who the better candidate was. But this changed when the Association of Democratic Reforms, a non-profit organization, filed a public interest litigation, and the Supreme Court gave a judgment in which it said, it is the fundamental right of every citizen to know about the contesting candidates. All the candidates should provide their criminal, educational, and financial information so that voters can make an informed choice. Based on this judgment, the Election Commission of India, or the ECI, issued orders mandating every candidate to file these details. Now let's get into the details of what is actually in Form 26 and does it really help the voters in making a decision as to whom to vote for. The first thing on the list is declaration of income as per their IT returns from past 5 years with mandatory PAN declaration. It's not just their personal income. They also have to declare their spouses and dependents' income as well. This gives the voters an idea as to what is the income of the candidate and how it has been changing over the past 5 years. It tells us if the incomes have changed at a normal rate or at an exponential rate, which means in fact, Cobra Post, a non-profit news organization, did some research last year and found that 194 politicians, including 6 former chief ministers and 10 sitting ministers, have filed wrong PAN details to hide their actual income. Maybe unintentional, but 194 of them doing the same mistake. The second thing is criminal cases, both pending and convicted. If pending, details such as FIR number with name and address of police station, sections on which the charges have been filed, brief description of supposed offence, and other related details have to be provided. And if convicted, the case number, name of the court, brief description of offence, date of order of conviction, punishment imposed, and other related details must be furnished. But we have to understand that just looking at the number of cases might not be the correct way, because there might be frivolous cases filed against someone for protesting or for, say, political revenge. The best example is this guy, SP Uday Kumar from Tamil Nadu. He has more than 300 criminal cases against him, but most of the cases are related to his protest against the nuclear power plant in Kudankulam. Compare that with this guy, Jetabhai G. Ahir, who has one case of rape against him. So the responsibility is on us, the citizen, to check the kind of cases the candidates are charged with and take a wise decision. The third one is assets. Movables like cash, bank deposits, bonds, stocks, mutual funds, vehicles, jewelry, and immovable assets like land and buildings fall in this category. These assets should include both domestic and international holdings. Also, assets of the spouse and dependents need to be mentioned. Now, this is one of the biggest indicators to check if the candidate has disproportionate assets compared with his income. Along with it, if we compare this with the assets they have declared during the last elections, it gives an idea as to whether the gains were because of any misuse of power. For example, take this guy, Sarmur Divyaraj Singh, whose assets have increased 1,397% from 2013 to 2018. Oh, yo, that's some crazy returns, man. He should definitely start a hedge fund or maybe start a how to manage your finances podcast. The fourth category is liabilities, that is, loans taken from financial institutions or individuals and government dues such as income tax dues. Most of the times, it might not tell us too much about the candidate, but sometimes it shows their disregard towards rules and regulations such as when they default on payments to the government. आप ही सोचिए, मुफ्त के फैसिलिटीज लेने पहले आ जाते हैं और टैक्स की बारी आए तो गायब. Personally, I would not trust such people with my tax money. Fifth is professional details. Details of the candidate's profession and sources of income should be provided. Along with these details, contracts with government or any public or private companies have to be declared. This source of income will help us see if the candidate has disproportionate assets to his or her sources of income. If the assets keep increasing without a matching source of income, it means दाल में कुछ काला है. The sixth set of details pertains to the candidate's education. Now we know that there is no minimum educational qualification for being an MLA or MP, but still, we have a leaders trying to showcase their fake degrees here. So this is the section from which you will get to know who went to Yale as a student and who as a tourist. Once all the details are furnished, the affidavit should be sworn before an oath commissioner or magistrate of the first class or before a notary public. You know, filmy style. मैं सच कहूंगा, सच के सिवा और कुछ नहीं कहूंगा style. But one thing to note here is that no one verifies the correctness of the information. The only thing the returning officer checks is whether all the required fields in the form are filled or not. In case some mandatory information is missing, he or she can reject the nomination. So, an obvious question arises as to why we should trust this unverified information. Here is where civil societies and citizens come into the picture. All the Form 26 are available at www.affidavit.eci.gov.in. If you find this information confusing, you can also check the information at www.myneta.info. Now you can verify if the information that the candidates have given is true or not. And if you find something wrong, you can always file a case. Like the time when a case was filed against PM Narendra Modi for filing incorrect details about his marriage and against Arvind Kejriwal for suppressing the market value of his property. Another major actor in the verification process is the Central Board of Direct Taxes or the CBDT. It scrutinizes the affidavits that the ECI refers to it when a contesting candidate's assets have grown phenomenally since the last elections. In the year 2017, the CBDT told the Supreme Court that it was investigating 7 Lok Sabha MPs due to a substantial rise in their assets. It also said that in future, they will be making the information of who is being investigated and why open to the public. After all this, you might ask, hey, what happens if someone is found guilty of filing wrong information in their affidavit? The current penalty for lying in an affidavit filed before the ECI is imprisonment up to 6 months, or fine, or both. The ECI is pushing for making the candidate liable for disqualification for up to 6 years, but the government is not interested in this. I wonder why. Anyway, to summarize, Form 26 is definitely a great step towards transparency. But again, when I think about it, I wonder if this is enough to decide whom I should give my vote to, because it does not indicate what work these candidates have done so far in the public realm. For example, if they are existing MPs or MLAs, what work did they get done over the last 5 years? Or if they are contesting for the first time, what is their background? Whether they were active in politics or any civic organizations. Did they do any public work, and on what basis did they get the ticket to fight elections? I think these details are as important as the details in Form 26 for voters to take a better decision. I hope that the ECI is listening and makes it mandatory for every candidate to submit his or her resume, because being a public representative is a job as well. But until then, go review the affidavits of the candidates from your constituency, because an informed voter is a better voter. And when it comes to polling day, vote for who you think is the most eligible and clean candidate. If you don't think any contestant has a clean record, you can, of course, opt for Nota. And that's the end of this episode. In the next episode, we will talk about election manifestos. like and share this video and leave us a comment with your feedback.